What I want to talk today about is actually progesterone, but not in the way that you normally think of it. I want to talk about something that in my medicine they call cold uterus or cold womb, which sounds really strange. But often, especially for women, when they're trying to get pregnant and you're worried about all the hormones and you're testing this and testing that and testing this, it could be because, when you work with a doctor, you work with a diagnosis. You are lacking this hormone or you have too much of this hormone, and everything is trying to get that into balance with exogenous hormones and other techniques. When you're working with yourself and helping yourself through the self-care division of Chinese medicine, you're working with the symptoms. And you're looking at things that are what we call subclinical. In other words, it's not something that the doctor can test. And even if he did test it, he wouldn't really have a protocol for it. And the subclinical thing that often really affects progesterone, it does affect it, is if you tend to be cold all the time. That's what we call cold uterus. Because if you think about it, that is the uterus not responding to the warming effects of progesterone. It's not there. And so what you have to do is warm it up. Very simple. Not throw in progesterone, but warm up the uterus. And there are signs, especially right after ovulation, sometimes the lower belly can get a little cooler than it was before. The lower belly is often cooler than the rest of the body a little bit. And we've talked before in detail about why that can happen. I just want to make this a short thing. If you go to our website, you can find a blog. If you put in cold uterus, you can find a lot of tips to help warm it up. But generally what you want to do is warm it up and improve the blood flow to the uterus. Because you can imagine if it's cold, what happens to the blood? It slows down and it stagnates. So not only progesterone is a warming it's a warming element. It's a warming energy in the body, right? So if it's cold, progesterone can't live there. So we want to make an environment that invites progesterone. And that's what you'd be doing when you do this. So you're warming it up. You want to warm it up and increase blood flow. So we have part of our fertility plan, the free fertility plan, explains warming the belly the 2 weeks before your cycle. Before your ovulation, excuse me. So if you don't have a cycle, you pretend your cycle started at the full moon, and for those 2 weeks you warm the belly with a hot water bottle, heating pad, whatever you can. We also have the other things that are discussed in the blog article, like haramaki and mugwort oil and things like that. And of course, a castor oil pack can help as well. But you want to be warming at that time of the month. Not after ovulation, before. You're warming things up. So, and also breathing techniques. So on our YouTube channel, there are 1 million breathing exercises. So you can go there, pick out the ones you like. I think there's a bunch of them here on Instagram too. So pick out some breathing exercises and be doing them every day, because breathing and having breathing exercises off and on during the day helps the circulation of blood and energy through your whole body, will help your energy altogether, and will certainly help this process of warming it up and increasing circulation. Also, of course, the fertility massage, or it's a femoral massage. It's a self-care massage that's free whenever you buy a product, any product, whatever. You can have access to the free fertility plan. So that one, but use somebody else's, whatever, but use a fertility massage, and do that 1 week out of the month. The week after you bleed, that is the week you want to do the fertility massage. It's like 10 minutes a day. You don't do it after ovulation. And this helps to relax the muscles of the uterus, which can be tight if you haven't had a cycle for a while, or tight if you're cold. And that will help better circulation in that area. There's a lot of stuff to do with that, and we have more information about that. What else? Eating warm foods, because think of the body not in pieces and parts. I'm going to eat tons of ice cream and I have a cold uterus. You think of the body as a whole, and you're helping the whole body to warm up. So avoid cold foods and raw foods. Raw foods are also considered cold. Does that mean you can never have a salad? No. But make sure you're also having something warm or hot or soup and salad or something like that, okay? And the last thing, as I don't want to go any much further, is that there are 2 formulas that can be helpful. One of them is cinnamon emporia. Cinnamon emporia brings energy and blood flow to the uterus. And in other lives, I've talked about the value of cinnamon and how it goes directly to the uterus and your hands and feet. And then also, you want something that helps to build blood. And a really good formula to start with is something called Thinker's Energy Tonic. It doesn't say fertility on it, but it's a fabulous fertility formula. And it also strengthens your digestion so you can grab more nutrition out of your food. So hopefully this was interesting. And as I said, you can go to radiantwonder.com, search the words cold uterus, and get a whole bunch more information. Okay? So